Imagine thinking you're doing everything right for your health. You fill your plate with vibrant vegetables, you skip the processed junk, and you follow your doctor's advice religiously. But then the unexpected happens. You're bloated. Your joints ache. Your blood pressure won't budge. You begin to wonder what's going wrong. The answer may lie in your vegetable drawer. Yes, vegetables, the very foods hailed as nutritional champions, can sometimes backfire, especially for older adults. As strange as it may sound, certain vegetables contain compounds that can interfere with medications, irritate aging digestive systems, and even exacerbate chronic diseases. These aren't fringe cases or rare allergies. These are everyday vegetables you'll find in almost every household, eaten with good intentions, but potentially causing more harm than good for those over 60. Seniors face unique dietary challenges that younger people rarely consider. Aging brings physiological changes such as slower metabolism, reduced kidney function, and increased sensitivity to blood sugar fluctuations. Combine this with prescription medications, pre-existing conditions like arthritis, heart disease, or diabetes, and it becomes clear that not all vegetables are universally beneficial. Some can silently undermine your well-being. This isn't fear-mongering, it's about knowledge and prevention. As a senior care professional with years of experience guiding patients through dietary transitions, I've seen firsthand how small food choices can dramatically affect long-term health. Today we'll explore 9 vegetables that seniors should think twice about eating, and more importantly, we'll discuss safer alternatives and preparation methods to retain nutritional value without jeopardizing health. 1. Spinach. A superfood with a hidden dark side, spinach is often the poster child of healthy eating. It's rich in iron, vitamin K, magnesium, and antioxidants, making it a staple in many seniors' diets. However, this leafy green also contains high levels of oxalates, natural compounds that can bind with calcium in the body. For seniors, this poses 2 significant risks. Firstly, oxalates can form calcium oxalate crystals, the primary component of kidney stones. According to the National Kidney Foundation, over 10% of Americans will experience kidney stones during their lifetime, and the risk increases with age. Seniors with reduced renal efficiency are especially susceptible as their kidneys are less able to filter out these compounds efficiently. Secondly, oxalates interfere with calcium absorption. As we age, maintaining bone density becomes increasingly critical, particularly for women post-menopause and men over 65. Calcium malabsorption contributes directly to osteoporosis, a condition affecting 1 in 3 women and 1 in 5 men over 50 globally. One patient I worked with, a 72-year-old woman recovering from a hip fracture, was shocked to learn that her daily raw spinach smoothies were likely compounding her condition. We replaced them with cooked arugula and romaine-based alternatives. Steaming spinach, by the way, can reduce its oxalate content by up to 30%, making it safer for consumption. 2. Kale, the superfood that can weigh down your thyroid. Like spinach, kale is another leafy green that carries a dual identity. It's loaded with essential nutrients, including vitamin A, vitamin C, and fiber. However, for seniors with thyroid conditions or kidney concerns, kale can be problematic, especially when consumed raw and in excess. Kale belongs to the cruciferous vegetable family, which contains goitrogens. These compounds hinder iodine absorption in the thyroid gland, impairing its ability to produce hormones. Thyroid hormone imbalance can manifest in fatigue, dry skin, cognitive slowdown, and weight gain, all symptoms commonly misattributed to aging itself. According to the American Thyroid Association, nearly 20 million Americans have some form of thyroid disease, many undiagnosed and untreated. Additionally, kale is another high oxalate vegetable. A senior gentleman I once advised was dealing with recurring kidney stones despite a mostly plant-based diet. On closer inspection, he was consuming large quantities of raw kale in juices and salads. We introduced light steaming into his routine and diversified his greens with bok choy and turnip greens, both nutrient-dense and lower in oxalates and goitrogens. 3. Corn, sweet, starchy, and straining your system. Corn is sweet, versatile, and comforting, but it's also a high-starch vegetable with a tough outer layer made of indigestible cellulose. For younger people with a robust metabolism and efficient digestion, this might not be an issue. For seniors, it's a different story. As digestion slows with age, high-fiber foods like corn can lead to bloating, constipation, or aggravation of existing conditions, such as irritable bowel syndrome or diverticulitis. Furthermore, corn has a relatively high glycemic index, especially when processed into cornflakes or corn syrup. A medium-sized cob of corn has nearly 19 grams of carbohydrates, enough to cause blood sugar spikes in individuals managing diabetes or prediabetes. A recent study published in Diabetes Research and Clinical Practice confirmed that older adults following high-carb diets experienced increased insulin resistance. This means the more often seniors eat high GI foods like corn, the harder it becomes to regulate their glucose levels, even with medication. In addition, much of the corn consumed today is genetically modified and sprayed with chemicals that raise concerns for long-term health, particularly in individuals with sensitivities or weakened immune systems. For elderly individuals with blood sugar issues, replacing corn with lower glycemic vegetables like zucchini or cauliflower is a safer bet. 4. Peas, the tiny vegetable. With outsized risks, peas may seem innocent enough. They're tiny, soft, and sweet, and they blend well in soups and stews. But don't let their appearance fool you. Peas are starchy legumes packed with carbohydrates and purines compounds that break down into uric acid. This can spell trouble for seniors in two ways. First, excess carbohydrate intake contributes to blood sugar instability. 1 cup of peas contains over 20 grams of carbohydrates and a moderate glycemic index. For seniors managing diabetes, this can create blood glucose spikes that strain the body's already diminished insulin response. Second, high uric acid levels are a known trigger for gout, a painful form of arthritis that primarily affects older adults. A 2020 study published in Arthritis and Rheumatology showed that older adults consuming purine-rich vegetables, including peas and beans, experienced higher frequencies of gout flare-ups. I recall a patient in his late 60s with a history of gout who loved split pea soup. After reducing his intake and replacing peas with lentils and spinach alternatives, his flare-ups diminished drastically. While peas can still be enjoyed in moderation, seniors at risk should be cautious and aware of portion sizes. 5. Tomatoes. Acidity. That's hard to stomach. Tomatoes are a staple in many diets, often praised for their lycopene content, which supports heart health and may reduce cancer risk. However, their high acidity can cause problems for seniors with gastroesophageal reflux disease, also known as GERD. Cooked tomato products, sauces, soups, pastes tend to have concentrated acidity, which can irritate the lining of the esophagus and stomach. This irritation can lead to symptoms like heartburn, indigestion, and discomfort, particularly when eaten late in the day. In addition to their acidic profile, tomatoes also belong to the nightshade family. Some individuals, especially those with joint problems, report worsened symptoms after consuming nightshade vegetables. While evidence is still debated in the scientific community, enough anecdotal reports exist that those with inflammatory conditions should monitor their intake. A woman in my care with arthritis experienced noticeable morning stiffness after eating tomato-heavy dinners. Swapping in yellow tomatoes, which are less acidic, and reducing portion sizes improved her sleep and reduced next-day inflammation noticeably. 6. Bell peppers, a hidden trigger for acid reflux and inflammation. Bell peppers, especially the vibrant red and green varieties, are often celebrated for their vitamin C content and antioxidant properties. Yet for many seniors, these colorful vegetables can quietly wreak havoc on the digestive system and joints. The main issue lies in how bell peppers interact with the lower esophageal sphincter, the muscular ring at the base of the esophagus. Compounds in bell peppers can relax the sphincter, allowing stomach acid to move upward and cause reflux. For seniors already managing GERD or acid reflux, this can be a daily struggle. Even moderate consumption of raw bell peppers can induce episodes of heartburn or bloating. Additionally, bell peppers belong to the nightshade family along with tomatoes and eggplant. While research on nightshades and inflammation remains inconclusive, many individuals with arthritis report symptom relief after eliminating them. One elderly man I consulted was experiencing chronic heartburn despite following what he believed was a clean diet. Upon reviewing his meals, we found that raw bell peppers appeared in nearly every salad. After removing them and switching to cooked carrots and squash, his reflux episodes decreased dramatically. For those sensitive to nightshades, careful tracking and substitution are key to identifying triggers. 7. Potatoes, comfort food. With a caution label, potatoes are among the most consumed vegetables globally, offering comfort and familiarity in every bite. But for seniors, they come with hidden complications. Potatoes have a high glycemic index, meaning they quickly convert into glucose and elevate blood sugar levels, something particularly dangerous for older adults managing diabetes or prediabetes. The problem intensifies when potatoes are fried or baked at high temperatures. These cooking methods produce a compound called acrylamide, a chemical classified by the National Toxicology Program as a probable human carcinogen. Animal studies have linked acrylamide exposure to an increased risk of certain cancers, and while human research is ongoing, caution is warranted, especially for older adults with weakened immune systems. Additionally, the satiety potatoes offer can be misleading. Because they digest quickly, they can cause blood sugar spikes followed by crashes, leading to fatigue, irritability, and overconsumption. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that individuals consuming high GI diets had significantly higher risks of developing type 2 diabetes. For seniors who enjoy potatoes, healthier cooking methods like boiling or roasting with the skin intact are safer options. Pairing potatoes with high-fiber vegetables and lean protein can also help blunt glucose spikes and maintain energy levels throughout the day. 8. Mushrooms, nutrient-dense but not without risks. Mushrooms are often recommended for their low calorie count and rich profile of B vitamins, selenium, and antioxidants. However, certain aspects of mushrooms warrant caution in senior diets, particularly regarding preparation source and quantity. Raw mushrooms contain a compound called agarotane, a naturally occurring hydrazine derivative, with potential carcinogenic effects in animal models. A 2010 study published in Food and Chemical Toxicology observed increased tumor growth in mice fed large amounts of raw mushrooms. While humans would need to consume vast quantities to mirror these results, seniors should err on the side of safety and cook mushrooms thoroughly before eating. Moreover, wild mushrooms pose a more immediate danger. Poisonous species can easily be mistaken for edible ones, and the consequences can be severe, ranging from gastrointestinal distress to fatal liver and kidney damage. A review in the International Journal of Environmental Research and Public Health found that over 90% of mushroom-related fatalities stem from ingestion of wild varieties containing amatoxins. Even store-bought mushrooms may be difficult to digest for seniors with sensitive stomachs. Cooking mushrooms not only neutralizes toxins, but also enhances nutrient availability and improves their digestibility. Seniors should avoid consuming them raw and always purchase mushrooms from reliable commercial sources. 9. Asparagus. Hydrating but potentially hazardous for gout and dehydration. Asparagus is often recommended for its folate vitamin K and diuretic properties. However, these same characteristics can turn problematic for older adults, particularly those managing chronic health conditions. As a natural diuretic, asparagus promotes urination and may help reduce water retention. But for seniors on blood pressure medications or those who struggle to maintain hydration, the risk of dehydration increases. Dehydration can impair cognitive function, exacerbate dizziness, and lead to complications such as kidney strain and falls, already a major concern for aging individuals. Moreover, asparagus contains purines which break down into uric acid. Seniors who are predisposed to gout, a painful condition where uric acid crystals accumulate in the joints, should be cautious. A comprehensive review in arthritis and rheumatology in 2021 confirmed that diets high in purines significantly increase the incidence of gout attacks in individuals over 50. I once worked with a retired teacher who, despite a healthy diet, experienced repeated episodes of joint inflammation. After tracking her food intake, we identified asparagus and sardines as her main sources of purines. Reducing these foods and focusing on hydration helped her manage symptoms more effectively. While asparagus can still be enjoyed in moderation, seniors must balance its benefits with its risks. Drinking plenty of water alongside meals and avoiding excessive servings can make this nutrient-rich vegetable safer to consume. Conclusion. As we age, the body's relationship with food changes in subtle but powerful ways. What nourished you in your 30s may not serve you in your 60s. Digestive efficiency declines, the liver and kidneys work harder, and chronic conditions become more common. This is why it's essential to recognize that even healthy foods like vegetables can become problematic under certain circumstances. The 9 vegetables we've discussed are not inherently bad. In fact, many offer exceptional health benefits when prepared correctly and consumed mindfully. But for seniors, especially those dealing with kidney issues, arthritis, diabetes, or digestive disorders, these vegetables can trigger adverse effects ranging from mild discomfort to serious medical complications. Real-life examples make this point clear. Seniors experiencing unexplained fatigue pain or gut troubles often see noticeable improvement simply by adjusting their vegetable intake. A man suffering from gout, a woman battling kidney stones, another struggling with acid reflux. Each of these individuals saw health gains by tweaking what seemed like innocuous dietary habits. The goal is not to instill fear, but to foster awareness. Seniors deserve to eat well, feel energized, and live without avoidable discomfort. By learning how certain vegetables interact with aging physiology, you can tailor your diet to your body's specific needs, maximizing health benefits while minimizing risk. Substitution and moderation are key. If a vegetable causes issues, there's almost always a gentler alternative. Cooking techniques also matter. Steaming instead of eating raw, combining with fiber or protein, or avoiding concentrated forms can all make a big difference. Personalized nutrition, backed by understanding observation and the willingness to adapt, can profoundly improve a senior's quality of life. Food is one of the most powerful tools in preserving mobility, independence, and mental clarity in our later years. Use it wisely. If this article has opened your eyes to hidden dietary challenges or inspired you to take a closer look at your own nutrition or that of a loved one, we encourage you to continue exploring the topic. Talk to your healthcare provider, keep a food journal, and most importantly, listen to your body. For more evidence-based insights into senior health nutrition and longevity, be sure to like this article and subscribe to the Longevity Secret channel. We're here to guide you every step of the way as you age with strength, confidence, and clarity. Stay informed, stay healthy, and stay vibrant because your best years are still ahead.